Deion Sanders ponders his options as the New York Yankees and Cleveland Indians are playing a doubleheader on Sunday afternoon. The Yankees would win the first game by a final of 8-5. In the bottom of the first inning, Cleveland took a 1-0 lead on this RBI single by Candy Maldonado, his 54th RBI in the year, scoring Jerry Brown. An Alvaro Espinosa RBI single tied the game at 1. Then in the top of the second inning, Roberto Kelly, who had 4 RBIs, put the Yankees ahead for good with a sacrifice fly to score Jesse Barfield, and the Yankees led it 2-1 in the top of the second inning. Lots of strange things went on in this game in the Yankee dugout. We'll get the ball rolling with Dave LaPointe. LaPointe, one of many Yankees who had a lot of free time in the dugout as he fooled around with the trainer. In the top of the fourth inning, with the Yankees leading it by a score of 3-1, Steve Sachs made it 4-1 with a looping single just over Jerry Brown's glove. His 29th RBI in the year scored Alvaro Espinosa. Pascual Perez, another one of the Yankee characters in their dugout, as he has a towel wrapped in tape. He seems to want to get to bat as he has pitched only 14 innings this year. Tim Leary has pitched a lot of innings, and he went 6 2/3 innings on Sunday afternoon to pick up his 5th victory on the year against 13 losses. He struck out 6 batters, including Candy Maldonado, in the bottom of the 4th inning. The wackiness continued in the Yankee dugout as Deion Sanders, Pascual Perez, and Dave LaPointe, in the center of your screen, use the towel for a little bit of ring toss, and it ends up on Deion Sanders' head. Lots of strange sights in the Yankee dugout in Cleveland. The hitting star for the Yankees was Roberto Kelly. The center fielder had 4 RBIs on Sunday afternoon. Here he hits a solo home run in the top of the 6th inning, coming off relief pitcher Steve Olin, his 7th home run of the year, and RBI number 34 to make it 5-2. In the top of the 8th inning, Jim Leyritz was batting for the Yankees, and Steve Olin would hit him in the leg with a pitch. Leyritz went down hard and tried to stay in the game, but he was eventually forced to leave due to the pain. Deion Sanders pinch ran for Leyritz, and he came in to score on this RBI infield single by Alvaro Espinosa. Espinosa had 3 RBIs on the game. That made it 6-3 Yankees, but they barely held on as Roberto Kelly had a 2-run single to make it 8-3. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Cleveland pulled to within 8-5 as Bob Guerin had a pass ball allowing Jeff Manto to score, but Greg Cadaret came in relief of Dave Righetti and threw 2 pitches to get Candy Maldonado to fly out to center field, ending the game. The Yankees won it by a final of 8-5. The winner, Tim Leary, is 5-13. Bud Black took the loss. He's 9-6. Cadaret got his first. Most of the fans who stayed around in Cleveland for the second game of the doubleheader did so mainly to catch up on their sleep, as the Yankees swept a doubleheader from the Indians by winning the second game 4-3. Cecilio Guante started his first game in 363 appearances, and his second pitch was sent over the wall by Roberto Kelly. His second home run and 5th RBI of the doubleheader gave the Yankees a quick 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the second inning, Brooke Jacoby got the fans on their feet with a solo home run to left field. His 12th home run of the year. That would tie the game at 1 in the bottom of the second inning. Now move to the top of the 3rd inning. Deion Sanders will put the Yankees ahead for good at 2-1 as he picks up a solo home run to left field. Sanders trying to show that he's worth the reported big salary that the Yankees are willing to pay him to play baseball. That makes it 2-1 in the top of the 3rd inning. Sanders' 3rd home run on the year. Later in the top of the 3rd inning, Steve Sachs would touch Guante for a double down the right field line. Roberto Kelly will come all the way around to score from first base, and the Yankees led it 3-1 in the top of the 3rd inning. The Yankees increased the lead to 4-1, but in the bottom of the 5th, Cleveland pulled to within 4-2. The fans on the edge of their seats as Cleveland was inching closer. They pulled to within 4-3 on this single by Brooke Jacoby in the bottom of the 5th. His second RBI of the game to score Deion James. That gave Cleveland fans incentive as some of them got up and started to cheer while others just got up. In the top of the 6th inning, Candy Maldonado would make a great catch. This one enough to get a couple of fans out of their seats as Maldonado makes a great diving catch on the liner by Roberto Kelly down the left field line. That one's worth another look. A great fully extended diving catch coming in the top of the 6th inning. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it would be Jerry Brown at the plate, and he hits one down the first baseline. Kevin Moss with a great effort as he keeps his eye on the ball, but unfortunately he keeps his head on the floor as he crashes into the photographer's booth. But he was okay, much to the delight of Indian fans. Greg Cadaret picked up his first save in the first game of the doubleheader and got his second in the second game. Before the game, only one player had a save for the Yankees, and that was Dave Righetti, but Cadaret saves both ends of the doubleheader as the Yankees win it 4-3. Eric Plunk, the winner, is 4-2. Cecilio Guante took the loss. He fell to 2-3. The Yankees win both ends of the doubleheader, but at least the fans go home with a tan.
Afternoon in Detroit, Sparky Anderson and his Tigers are hosting the Boston Red Sox in the final game of this four-game series. We pick up action in the bottom of the first, no score, no outs, runners at second and third. Alan Trammell against Boston starter Greg Harris. He hits a chopper off the plate. It just gets up the middle into center field. Both Lou Whitaker and Dave Bergman score, and Detroit leads 2-0. RBIs 35 and 36 for Alan Trammell. Boston scored a run in the top of the second on a Mark Salas pass ball to make the score 2-1 Detroit. Now in the top of the third, runners at first and third, one out. Wade Boggs doubles just fair off the left field wall off Detroit starter Jeff Robinson, scoring Tim Naring from third base. This ties the game up at 2-all. RBI number 36 for Wade Boggs. Red Sox took a 3-2 lead on an Ellis Burks fielder's choice in the top of the third. Now in the top of the fourth with one out and Randy Kutcher on second base. Tim Naring will hit a line drive single to center field off of Jeff Robinson. He drives in his fifth run of the season. Kutcher comes in to score, and Boston leads 4-2. Jody Reed followed with an RBI double to give Boston a 5-2 lead. It's Reed's 33rd RBI of the season. 1 out later, against newly reacquired pitcher Walt Terrell on in relief of Jeff Robinson, Wade Boggs picks up his second double and second RBI of the day. He goes down the left field line. Jody Reed scores easily from third base. Boston leads 6-2. That's Boggs' 37th RBI of the season. Next batter at the top of the fourth for the Red Sox is Mike Greenwell. He takes his Walt Terrell pitch for a double into the left center field gap. Ball goes one hop off the wall. Boggs scores. Boston leads 7-2. RBI number 34 for Mike Greenwell. On to the bottom of the seventh with the Boston Red Sox now leading 8-3. Red Sox starter Greg Harris pitching a strong ball game. Here he picks up strikeout victim number 3. Gets Dave Bergman swinging for the second out of the inning. Quite a day for Wade Boggs in the top of the eighth with Jody Reed on first base and 2 outs. He strokes his third double of the day, also picking up his third RBI of the afternoon. He doubles into the left center field gap. Reed scores all the way from first base, and the Red Sox lead the Tigers 9-3. RBI number 39 for Wade Boggs. That's the Red Sox's 10th double of the day, one shy of tying the American League record. In the top of the ninth, with the Red Sox now leading 13-3, Mike Henneman on in relief for the Tigers. Carlos Quintana will break that American League record for the Red Sox. He doubles into the left center field gap. That's the Red Sox's 12th double of the day, setting a new American League record. Red Sox bang out 18 hits and beat the Tigers by the final of 13-3. Winner's Greg Harris. He's 8-4. The loser, Jeff Robinson, is 8-8.
Noon, top of the first inning, 1 out and 1 on. Jose Canseco takes David West deep to left field for his 32nd home run of the season. RBIs number 76 and 77. Carney Lansford was aboard, and it was 2-0 A's. But in the bottom of the first, the Twins strike for 4 runs after a Kirby Puckett RBI made it 2-1. Brian Harper extends his hitting streak to 19 games with his 41st RBI of the season as he singles into right field. Scoring on the play is Puckett, but Gary Gaetti is thrown out at third on a nice throw by Dave Henderson in right field. And the RBI comes with 1 out off Kurt Young. That was the second out in the inning as Gaetti was gunned down by Dave Henderson. Then a rarity, Kent Herbeck steals second. Bad throw by Terry Steinbach goes into center field. Coming around to score on the play was Brian Harper. That made it 3-2 Minnesota. Then Junior Ortiz continues his hot hitting as he bloops this single into left field. That scores Kent Herbeck. That gives the Twins a 4-2 lead as they score a pair there, as Walt Weiss can't find a handle on it, and that makes it 4-2 Minnesota. But in the top of the second inning, Felix Jose up to bat against David West, and he hits this one out into left field. Dan Gladden unable to come up with it, and Kirby Puckett wasn't backing up the play, so Felix Jose goes all the way around for the inside the park home run. It's his 8th home run of the season, RBI number 32, as he leads it off with the inside the park home run that pulled Oakland to within 1 at 4-3. Then in the top of the 9th inning with the score 5-4 Minnesota, Ricky Henderson leading things off against Rick Aguilera, takes him deep for his 20th home run of the season, RBI number 43, and it ties the score at 5 apiece in the 9th. Well, they would go to extra innings in this one, and in the top of the 10th inning, the A's would threaten with runners at the corners. Lance Blankenship hits it. There's Gary Gaetti with the great diving stop and the force at second base to Nelson Liriano. One more look as he saves the winning run as Mark McGuire was going home on the play. Bottom of the 10th inning now, bases loaded, no outs. Rick Honeycutt pitching, and Brian Harper, who had earlier extended his hitting streak to 19 games, sends this one off the wall for the RBI single as Al Newman comes around to score. The Twins win it 6-5 in 10 innings. Rick Aguilera gets the win in relief. He's 3-3. Rick Honeycutt takes the loss. He's 1-2. and the Twins take 3 of 4 from the A's as they win again on Sunday afternoon at the Metrodome.
Defeat the Kansas City Royals by a final of 4-1. In the top of the first inning, the Orioles got all the runs they needed as Sam Horn picked up an RBI with a double off the wall in left center field. Brady Anderson would come around to score, and the Orioles led it by a score of 1-0. Later in the top of the first inning, Cal Ripken would pick up an RBI. He picks up a single off Tom Gordon. He slaps it into right field. Sam Horn comes in to score, and the Orioles led it 2-0. In the top of the second inning, a double by Mike Devereaux would make it 3-0, and the Orioles looked to do more damage as Cal Ripken drilled one to left field. But there was Jeff Schultz to make a great leaping catch at the wall. He crashed hard into the wall in left field, but there was padding on the wall, so he was okay. He had jogged off the field under his own power after making this great catch to end the top of the second inning. In the top of the third inning, the Orioles would make it 4-0 as Billy Ripken would follow his brother's example by picking up an RBI single. This one goes up the middle. Mickey Tettleton comes in to score from second base, and the Orioles led comfortably at 4-0 in the top of the third inning. They were leading comfortably because John Mitchell was pitching very well. He went 7 1/3 innings, allowing only 1 run and 3 hits. Back in the bottom of the first inning, he will strike out George Brett to end the inning. Mitchell had 3 strikeouts on the day, and even his record at 3-3 on the season with relief help from Jeff Ballard and Greg Olson. Moving to the bottom of the sixth inning, the Royals got their only run of the game on this high chop by Jim Eisenreich that will score Gerald Perry. This came in the bottom of the sixth inning as Perry comes in to score to make it 4-1 Baltimore, but that would be the final score as Frank Robinson's Orioles take 3 of 4 from the Royals in the weekend series. Greg Olson got his 23rd save on the year as he gets Pat Tabler to fly out to left field. Brady Anderson with a nice running catch out in left field. The Orioles win it by a final of 4-1. John Mitchell, the winner, is 3-3. Tom Gordon took the loss. He fell to 6-7. Greg Olson picked up his 23rd save.
Sunday afternoon at the Skydome, that's Tony Fernandez pitching to his kid, and he goes running down to first base, and George Bell's son will tag Tony Fernandez's son out. Well, the Texas Rangers are at the Skydome to take on the Blue Jays, and that's Ranger reliever Kenny Rogers bopping out in the bullpen. Bottom of the first inning with the score tied 1-1. Fred McGriff will hit the ground rule double down the left field line. It'll bounce in front of Pete Incaviglia and into a fan's glove. Scoring on the play is Kelly Gruber, RBI number 56 for McGriff. That made it 2-1 Toronto as George Bell moved over to third. And we'll take one more look at this one as the fan will make the nice play on the ball that Pete Incaviglia couldn't after he misses it on the bounce. The lead in this game would seesaw back and forth, and in the top of the third inning, Texas adds 3 runs. First, Mike Stanley will line this one off of David Wells' hand right to Kelly Gruber. He throws him out, but David Wells would have to leave the game after the second inning with the hurt hand as he took it right off the hand. Hard shot by Mike Stanley. Wells finished out the inning, but he just wasn't the same. After giving up an RBI check swing double to Steve Buechele to tie the game, Gary Pettis came up to bat with 1 on and 2 outs, and Pettis will hit this triple into the left center field gap. That'll score Buechele, and that'll give Texas a 3-2 lead. Julio Franco lined a single into right field to score Pettis later on to make it 4-2 Texas. But this triple by Pettis was his 23rd RBI on the season. In the bottom of the third inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Manny Lee will drive this Jamie Moyer pitch over Pete Incaviglia's head. He runs into the wall as he clears the bases. Bell, Borders, and Hill all score on the play. RBIs number 21, 22, and 23, and it was 5-4 Toronto on the 3-run double by Manny Lee. But in the top half of the fourth inning with 1 out, Ruben Sierra will clean the bases off of Jim Acker as Mookie Wilson misses the ball. Scoring on the play are Steve Buechele, Gary Pettis, and right behind Pettis is Ruben Sierra. That made it 7-5 on the 3-run double by Ruben Sierra. RBIs number 59, 60, and 61. But in the bottom of the fourth inning, Toronto will come back and take the lead. Fred McGriff with his second and third RBIs on the day as he singles into center field. That scores Fernandez and Gruber, RBIs number 57 and 58. Then with George Bell at second base, Pat Borders hits this one off of Rafael Palmeiro's glove. That's an error on Palmeiro. Bell scores. That makes it 8-7 Toronto. The Blue Jays win it 10-8. Jim Acker gets the win in relief while Craig McMurtry takes the loss, and John Candelaria picks up his first save as a Blue Jay, his 5th on the year. Here he strikes out Jack Doherty looking, and Doherty not too thrilled with Rocky Rowe's call. The Blue Jays win it 10-8 on Sunday afternoon as they win the rubber game of the three-game series.